Via Metropolitan Transit Authority in San Antonio, Texas, is the bus company for San Antonio, serving a population of over 2 million people. They have facilities all across San Antonio, including Central Plaza, located in downtown San Antonio. In San Antonio, we have a problem. The Via Transit system has their own police department, and their police think that they own the public streets around Central Plaza, which is pictured here to the right, as well as the sidewalks that surround Central Plaza. About 3 years ago, I was arrested on one of these sidewalks. The case was dismissed because they do not own the sidewalk, nor do they own the street. Mark Rios from SA210 Cop Watch was down filming Central Plaza, and he caught some officers in this building where they're not supposed to be playing grab ass. So he walks up there, begins to film, but he's on the sidewalk. They rush out and arrest him. Let's watch that video.
Oh, they're all hiding in there. Oh, they turned a chair around. There's my girl. There is my girl.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. Get on the wall.
Why?
Get on the wall so we have to see you. And you're on our property.
Your property, actually?
Actually, no. You're on our property. You were right here.
Okay.
And that's where the video ends. The police officer shut the video down. You see, when you're a bad cop, shutting the camera off is top priority. It supersedes everything. Officer safety, patting down a suspect that you've just arrested to make sure that they don't have weapons, so on and so forth. You see, this dumb bitch, wrong dumb bitch. This dumb bitch here places Mark in the back of the patrol car without patting him down. Mark was carrying a concealed handgun, as most of us do here in Texas. After about 10 minutes, she decides to pat him down and finds the concealed handgun. Instead of taking the gun from him, she shuts the door with this look of fear on her face, and she calls the police to come help her disarm him. And when they arrive, they act like Mark did something wrong. This is not the first time police have arrested Mark here at Via and did not disarm him. It happened on the video where he was arrested for walking down the sidewalk drinking a cherry Coke. Go to his channel to watch that video. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. Now, I went down to Central Plaza to figure out where the property lines were. I figured, who better to ask than the police who were making trespass arrests? It seems that they would know where the property begins and where it ends. And this is what I found out.
Heads up, heads up, heads up, heads up.
How you doing, sir?
Turn your body cam on. I'll give you a second to do that. I'm not here to fuck with you.
No, we're just
get it on.
A message for supervisors.
Get it on. That way you know. I'm not out here to mess with you, but let me know when you got it on. Does it take that long to turn on? Jesus.
No, it's a battery thing.
Y'all got new ones.
Yeah, they're different.
Does the camera on it move or anything? The little black thing? Does it move around or anything? Does it detach? You know? I'm just curious. I haven't seen those.
It's
My camera. You can plug in a camera to
what type of camera is
a
that?
small Cam Pro.
That's nice.
Yeah, like 128 bucks on Amazon.
Oh, okay.
Run it for 15 hours at 1080p. It's got infrared, all that shit.
Nice.
So listen, I need to know where y'all's property ends and where it starts.
You would think it would be an easy question. It starts here and it ends there. Oh, no, not from these dumbasses.
Well, I mean,
And because I'm hearing multiple things. What I'm hearing, one of your police officers said that you guys own the street because it's cement, and that there's no sidewalk around this place. And my intent is to get everybody on the same sheet of music about where property ends and where it starts, because we're under one impression from the city on the plat records that there's a sidewalk all around here owned by the city, and that we're also under the impression from the city that although the cement was put in when Central Plaza was built, the city bought that cement and it's a city street. But I have a police officer, not you, telling me that Via owns that. And so now there's a problem, right? Because you guys are taking actions like last night based on that belief, and I'm literally
I don't know what happened
hearing from the
last night.
city.
I'm on a different shift, but
That guy Mark was arrested out there on what the city is telling us is Mark Rios. What the city is telling us is a sidewalk.
Mark
But you guys are under the
Rios.
impression that it's not. Yeah, Mark Rios, he's one of the actors. The Mexican dude. The one that they threw on the ground with the Coke can. That
I
guy.
wasn't here last night.
Oh, dude. But check it out. So the reason I'm coming, and it could have been you or anybody else here, right, that I'm talking to. It just happens to be you. But obviously, the conversation needs to be had with all the police officers to figure out where we're getting misinformation or you guys are getting information, so we can come to the same sheet of music about where the property ends and begins. You guys certainly have the right to trespass warrant people. We're not contesting that. But when somebody's trespass warrant, I'm sure you can agree it's important that the person know that everybody, the police and the person, knows where they can and can't be. And they all need to be on the same sheet of music. So it just seems to me like we are not on the same sheet of music about where the property ends and begins. And we need to be on the same sheet of music. That's what I'm trying to do is figure out on the same sheet of music and just ask folks like, where are y'all getting y'all's information as far as where your property ends?
That'd be something for to talk to 210-362-2020, that actual Via admin. They know, because I mean, they own, this is
I'll tell you what the problem is. They forward it to the police. They say talk to the police.
Well, then you can talk
I'm
to our
like,
supervisor.
oh, fuck. And I have. I was just down talking to Sergeant Poor, and he's under the same impression that the street is owned by Via. So he gave an answer to that, and I'm like, well, who's telling you that? He says Via is. And I'm like, okay, that's a start. So then what I do with that information is I go to the board and say, hey, your police officers, not naming any names, your police officers are under the impression that, for instance, the street is Via property. The city says it's not. Hey, board members, fix this shit, because by not fixing it, you're putting your police officers and the citizens, for that matter, in a vicarious position. Because we want to go where we can. The police officers want to assert their right to control things on their property, and they should be allowed to do that. You guys should be allowed to do that. I'll advocate for your guys' ability to control everything that goes on your property. So it's very much needed.
Right. So real quick, what I've, just to kind of add on to what you said, so what I've heard since being here,
and I'm not going to quote you, just so you know, I'm not quoting you or nothing.
And that's
I'm trying to gather this information and try to figure out a resolution.
Because the way I am, I'll tell anybody, including, higher ups, what I've been told and what it is, or what I've heard it is. So it's not that we own the street, because that's kind of absurd when you think about it.
Right, yeah.
The bus lane.
That would be one argument.
So half of the street, if you will, or a quarter of the street, or a third, because the bus lane, the bus actually operates within that area. So if someone, say we have A standing in the bus lane, that is our right technically to move that person or escort that person or instruct that person, you're still on the property, you need to go, because you're in a bus lane. Now if you get hit by a bus, who are you going to come after?
Well, yeah, I mean, they can't be standing in the bus lane.
Exactly. That's really where it ends, is right after the bus lane.
And with the bus lane, again, I don't believe that Via owns the bus lane, but I'm saying what you have from a law enforcement standpoint, if somebody's standing in a bus line,
right,
you have blocking a passageway.
Right.
And that's actually a law that they're violating. And of course, law enforcement has all the authority on or off Via property to enforce that law. And there's no contest about that.
Well, sir, I mean, the shortest answer I can give you, I mean, if you were to talk to Sergeant...
Like, what you're out here right now. You're out here right now.
Yes,
right now. So I would expect that you would know where the property line ends, because you would be the one to make an arrest for trespassing if you needed to. And obviously, you're not going to make an arrest for trespassing if it's not on via property. So, right, you should know where the property ends. So it should be and your interpretation of it may be different. You may say, you know what, the property ends at the curb.
Where Sergeant
or whatever.
Via said.
He knows, and he said, yeah, the street, we own that. It's concrete.
Well, sir, that's up to
and
our
I'm like,
supervisors.
oh fuck,
via.
okay.
That's our supervisor. Via. I'm just a patrol officer. I'm just here to, protect the citizens, protect you, protect everybody here. That's all we're here to do, sir. But you can call 210-362-2020 and get further information from them.
Okay. Fair enough. I think you should, I think, and think about it after I leave, I think you probably should look into exactly where the property ends and begins, so that way you can make the best decision when dealing with somebody who doesn't want to leave. You have every right to do what you need to do if they're on your property. You know what I mean? And you should be able, and the only way to know that and to effectively do that is to know exactly where the property ends and begins. You know what I mean? Just a personal thing, personal development on yourself. And then you don't ever have to worry about getting into some bullshit over trespass.
Well, I appreciate your
knowing that you're going to do your job exactly the way you're supposed to. But if you don't know where it ends, that's a concern.
I never said it nor it ends, sir.
Where does it end? Where does the?
What you're saying, but
where does the?
Thank you for your concern.
Where does the property end?
Sir, that's like I said. When we called 210-2020, you didn't get enough from our sergeant.
You can't tell me where the property ends?
Sir, I'm not here to get into any debacle with you.
There's no debacle. I'm just asking you a question. Where does the property end?
Sir,
you can't tell me where the property ends?
I'm not gonna get in the mud with you, sir. I'm sorry, but I can get my
get in the muck.
I'm not gonna.
How is, if I ask you where the property ends, and you tell me it ends right there at that curb?
It ends where.
How is that a debacle?
Sir. I gave you the number, sir. I gave you the number. Okay.
But you're the one making the trespass, not customer service. You're the one that would make the arrest. You're the one, not even him. I wouldn't expect him to need to know. You're the law enforcement officer to make the arrest. Obviously, you can make an arrest for trespass. I know that. You can. I don't know if via...
I know where the property is.
I know via wants you to notify via police, but technically you could make an arrest for trespass. So anybody that's going to be enforcing trespass should know where the property ends, right? And why can't you tell me that? Let me ask you this. Is it against the law for me to strip down naked and run around showing my penis to everybody here? Is that against the law?
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm asking you.
Sir.
You should know. You can't even answer that.
I'm just...
Why can't you answer that?
You went from one here to there to there.
Here's a citizen asking you, is it against the law for me to run around butt naked?
So there are calls and reports to do.
You have a call or report to do?
Do you have any?
If you have a call or report to do, then get your tyrant dumb ass out of my face and go do your report.
Can I get a supervisor in my location?
Thank you. Maybe the supervisor can answer a law enforcement question. You bring this upon yourself, man. All you had to do was say, yes, that would be against the law if you ran around naked. Why can't you just say that?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Why can't you say that? Escobar, why can't you answer that question?
Right here by the restrooms.
Tell him I want to know if it's illegal to run around naked. That's all I need. He doesn't need to come over here. He can just say yes on the radio.
You can wait.
How long do you think he's going to be? I really...
The shift's changed, so you're probably going to be here for
Gotta be, sir. With
Jack Miller.
With Jack Miller.
Tell him I want to know if it's illegal to run around naked. He's asking that question and I can't answer it. Can you answer it for me, Sarge? Sarge don't have to come over here. Escobar, Sarge doesn't have to make location. You could call him on your phone and tell him, hey, Jack's asking if it's illegal to run around. And I don't know, Sarge, or I'm not allowed to answer him. Can you answer him? You can even give him my phone number. He can call me and tell me if it's illegal. Smart man. And go do whatever report. Oh, thank you. You're going to get on your phone. Thank you, Escobar. At least you're doing the right thing there. Let me go have my partner move my truck. I'll be right back. Hey, man, I'm going to have my partner move my truck, and I'll be right back so we can get to the bottom of it with the supervisor. Okay, thank you.
No, I didn't go back. Frankly, I had heard enough tyrants cop-splaining to me for the day. The reason he couldn't answer that very simple question about property lines is because answering would have incriminated his fellow Blue Line thug gang member for the unlawful arrest of Mark. right here on this sidewalk. If you guys don't like what they're doing, or you like what they're doing, you want to throw a comment their way, here's the contact information. Until next time, be safe and be free.